1999. Silicon Valley was gripped by frenzy. The belief that the internet will change the world had taken hold of every investor. Business models went unquestioned. Two letters, .com, were enough to attract hundreds of millions of dollars. And in the heart of that euphoria, one company was born. Pets.com. Founded in 1998 and rapidly expanding through 1999, it was an online pet food retailer. The face of the company was a single character. A dog made of socks, known as the sock puppet. Microphone in hand, singing cheerfully, making everyone laugh. This character quickly became beloved by children across America. Because pets can't drive. Since pets can't drive, shop for them online. Simple, warm, and unforgettable, it was a perfect tagline. The irony? Sock puppet plush toys flew off the shelves. Character merchandise was generating more buzz than the pet food itself. As a brand, Pets.com shone brilliantly. But behind the scenes, numbers that no one was watching had begun their quiet collapse. January 30th, 2000. Super Bowl 34, the 34th Super Bowl. Pets.com made the decision to pour enormous sums into a spot ad at a time when a 30-second slot ran into the millions of dollars. Spending on the entire ad campaign, including the Super Bowl placement, consumed a disproportionately large share of total operating costs. Before 100 million viewers across America, the sock puppet appeared on screen. Cheerful, singing, dancing. The audience roared with laughter. The Pets.com sock puppet would go on to be cited repeatedly as the defining ad of the .com era. But that success was the success of an advertisement. 2 weeks after the Super Bowl, February 2000, Pets.com went public on the NASDAQ. Ticker IPET. The IPO price was $11 per share, raising approximately $82.5 million. And here's a fact worth noting. Amazon held roughly half of Pets.com's shares, its largest shareholder. If Jeff Bezos is backing it, it must be solid. Investors who believed that poured their capital in, one after another. SoftBank and other prominent investors joined the roster. Yet how many people, at that very moment, asked the one essential question? How exactly is this company going to turn a profit? Pets.com's business model was straightforward. Buy pet food wholesale, sell it cheaper than the competition, and offer free shipping. Customers were delighted. Orders flooded in. But anyone who looked at the numbers trembled. Discounts and free shipping. That alone was brutal enough. What Pets.com had overlooked, however, was that pet food is heavy. Delivering a 20-kilogram bag of dog food to anywhere in America for free. Those shipping costs were devouring every last penny of profit. Cost of goods, discounts, shipping, fulfillment expenses. Add them together, and every single order stacked up as a loss. Warehouse shelves overflowed with inventory. Delivery trucks rolled out every day. And the company's bank account shrank every single day. The more they sold, the more they lost. That was Pets.com's business model. March 2000. The NASDAQ began to crack. What had until then been called investing in the future was suddenly labeled reckless gambling. The eyes of investors changed. Can this company actually generate a profit? Barely any internet company could answer that question. Stock prices collapsed, one after another. The dot-com bubble had begun to burst. Pets.com's share price began to fall. And inside the company, a far more serious problem was unfolding. The money was running out. November 2000. Pets.com CEO Julie Wainwright sat across from her attorneys. Additional funding had been refused. Amazon, its largest shareholder, had cut off support. The cash left in the bank account wasn't enough to cover next month's payroll. There was only one option. Just 9 months after the IPO, Pets.com voted to liquidate. The stock price had fallen from the IPO price of $11 to 19 cents. The capital raised, including $82.5 million from the IPO, was exhausted within months, and shareholder value was reduced to nearly zero. November 7, 2000. Pets.com announced the cessation of operations and liquidation, approximately 9 months from its IPO in February 2000. It closed in an exceptionally short span of time. The following morning's Wall Street Journal. Business people stared at the page, but something strange happened. Before the headline, Pets.com liquidates, many people said this first. Oh, the company with the sock puppet. The advertisement had outlived the company. And then, what happened at business schools? The Pets.com case made it into the textbooks, not as a success story, but as the ultimate case study in failure. The sock puppet was etched into advertising history, cited again and again as the character that defined the dot-com era. It was an irony no one could laugh at. The advertising was flawless. The character was beloved. The brand shone brilliantly, and yet the company died. Why? The answer was simple. Because the unit economics of a single transaction had never worked from the very beginning. Pets.com was not a lone failure. Between 2000 and 2001, Cosmo.com, Webvan, eToys, Boo.com, each raised enormous capital, burst onto the scene with fanfare, and vanished within months. The specific details of each collapse differed: overinvestment in logistics, ballooning marketing spend, but they shared a common blind spot: unit economics. Simply put, the question of whether a single order is truly profitable, including all variable costs. Very few companies confronted that question honestly. There was one company operating in the same era that had been involved as Pets.com's largest shareholder: Amazon.com. Jeff Bezos was in the middle of the dot-com bubble too. Amazon's stock price crashed by nearly 90%. Many people said, Amazon is finished too, but Amazon survived. Why? Because Bezos relentlessly pursued a structure where every single transaction generated profit, so that as scale grew, costs would fall. Before flashy advertising, he was obsessed with building a sound, numerical foundation. Pets.com did the exact opposite. It built a brilliant character first and pushed the question of unit economics to the back. And here lies a critical truth. The idea behind Pets.com was not wrong. Chewy.com, founded in 2011, achieved enormous success with nearly the same business model: selling pet supplies online and shipping them across America. As of 2024, Chewy has achieved profitability and stands as the dominant player in the U.S. pet e-commerce market. So what made the difference? The maturation of telecommunications infrastructure and logistics costs, and an obsession with engineering unit economics that actually worked. What Pets.com proved was not, you can't sell pet food online. It was this: if you scale without viable unit economics, you die fast. A quarter century has passed since Pets.com disappeared, and there is a reason this story is still told. It is not the scale of the failure. It is the startling clarity of its structure. Over $300 million in shareholder value was destroyed. The company was liquidated in roughly 9 months. And yet, the sock puppet is still remembered today. This paradox leaves a fundamental question. What were they polishing? Pets.com polished what customers could see: the character, the advertising, the brand. But it ignored what customers couldn't see: the architecture that made each individual transaction truly profitable. And e-commerce in the 2020s is fighting the same battle. You can make shipping look free, but you cannot ship for free. Many companies have shifted to models that recover shipping costs through minimum purchase thresholds or membership fees, engineering unit economics that work order by order. A business must work before it is shown to the world. So let me put this question to you. History only tells us the outcome, but at the moment of decision, no one knew what that outcome would be. If you had been involved with Pets.com in 1999 as an investor, would you have spotted the flaw in this business model? In the things you are passionate about right now, is there any part of you that is turning away from the question, does each individual transaction truly work? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. The story of Pets.com teaches us both the power of advertising and the fragility of a business model at the same time. On this channel, we trace the decisions of historic companies and great figures, excavating the blueprints of strategies that transcend time. Let's explore together what lay beneath the surface of apparent success and failure. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next story. Until next time.